I am an Indian, I want the country to grow. Stock market is like a gamble, satta hai satta, right? People talk about the success.
Correct.
No one talks about the background that goes behind that.
Correct. Let's say someone who has a capital of 1 lakh, he's telling I can make 10 lakh in a month.
They are selling dreams that is very unrealistic.
Daily 50,000 rupees kamao.
Social media, they don't show their P&L. They
Secret into our strategy.
10 guna kar do paisa. Like I have seen that. Even though it's not legal, investing is going to be a loss, right? And big sharks come and eat you.
Heck is going on down here? I don't know.
All of a sudden here, we started hearing screaming, buy.
Hi Aryan. We were 11 when we started playing cricket together, and we switched our career path to trading after a while. So how has that transition been, and how did you start trading in the market?
Hi Shashank. So our journey in a way started together. We started off playing cricket. We started off playing cricket together. We started off trading together, right? In a way. So that has completely been like a circle where we have done almost everything half our life together. So playing cricket, we were doing same thing on the field and off the field also. If you see, we are doing in the same field. So in 2020, like when I was doing my final year of college, I was doing my normal BBA. I had nothing to do. Like what I was like when COVID hit, 2020 beginning 2019 end, when COVID hit, I was absolutely blank. Like because till college life, I was only playing cricket. I had no idea what I'm going to do next. I was pursuing that very seriously. After that, nothing to do. So when COVID hit, what happened was I probably applied for a few jobs, couple of 2-3 jobs, and I did not get anything because I had no experience. I was like probably a 70-75% student in college, not a topper. So just when that happened, 6 months down the line, probably in September 2020, is what my uncle came to me and then he sent me a link. He sent me a link like just join this because I was not doing anything. I'm like, okay, fine. I have nothing to do. I was sleeping in the house. I joined that link and Zoom call. And then in that Zoom call, there was a mentor. I won't name him right now. There was a mentor that started talking about something that was very fascinating to me, right? Like it was all about and I have never heard the word stock market in my life before that. And I'm being very honest. People might think till 19 you don't know what stock market is. I didn't know what stock market is. That day I understood what stock market is, but like he was talking all about Bollinger Bands, RSI, and I'm like, what is all this? Like these are such new terms to me. I didn't know anything. So, but like he was also talking about money, he was talking about charts. So that was a little fascinating to me. After that day, I decided like, okay, now is the time that I'm gonna take my time out, understand what this is because this is looking very nice to me and I have something to look forward to in life, right? I don't have a job, I don't have anything right now to do. Let's start because cricket was also off. So let's start this. So yeah, that's when my journey towards trading started.
Okay, so what I feel is the financial literacy what we have in our country is very poor. We are not thought of it in our schooling or in our college life as well. So recently I've been seeing a lot of young crowd coming to me at the age of 14, 15, 16. They want to take trading as their full-time career. So what would you, let's say, what is the difference between 5 years back about stock market in India and what is the difference that which we are seeing right now in the Indian stock market?
I really like the point where you pointed out about how the financial literacy in our country, the education system in our country is very like backward when it comes to what needs to be taught in the market, what needs to be taught in schooling. So according to me, like, you know, all these things like me not hearing about the stock market till I was 19 is a very, very shameful thing for our community, right? Because this is something that every person, every human being should start. Every kid needs to start since they are like 12, 13 years old. They need to be taught about the financial literacy, how important investing is into the stock market, into the talk about FD. Like, even though I don't believe in that, talk about FD, talk about something about investing. We are not taught about that. Till college, we're not taught about that, okay? So I think that is something that people need to change. People need to educate, even if they're not teaching in school. I think the parents need to educate their kids about investing. because even in India right now, currently, the mentality is very different. Like if you see, the growth mentality is not there. Like because most of the people are middle class, they think investing is going to be a loss, right?
Correct.
And stock market is like a gamble, satta hai satta, right? People talk about that. So I think that is one point that I really like that you pointed out. The second question that you were talking about, how 15, 16 years old are coming into the market and they want to learn, is that question?
Yeah.
So according to me, people like the teenagers who are coming into the market, they need to complete the education, is what I feel. That's very important.
Okay.
Starting off like 15, 16 year old was what, 11, 12th grade, right? Continuing the education with the same time they are actually learning about the financial markets. That's very important. Financial market is this place where your brain opens up, your growth mindset starts, where people of 15, 16 year old right now actually have that liberty, because when I started off in 2020, there were people who were teaching on YouTube, there were people selling courses because COVID hit. So I, in that way, was fine, but like 10 years like behind when you go, there wasn't too many opportunities to actually learn from. You had your charts, you didn't have many people teaching you.
Correct.
Right now in 2025, a lot of people currently, like what you are doing, you are very experienced in yourself. So people can come to this academy, this institute, and they can learn. 15, 16 year olds not, but like maybe once they're 18, 19, they can start learning from 15, 16 and start doing from 18, 19, right? So I think few institutes like this, like that are genuine, they get their customers, they teach people with the right way. They teach people right way. So I think that has changed since when I started, because when I started, there was no institute. There were online classes, there were YouTubes, but there were no institute. Like right now, like you are there. So I think that is something that has changed from 2020 and 2025 that we are right now.
Okay.
So 5 years down the line, that has changed.
Okay. So after all these years, Aryan, I want to know how many years you've been trading for, and how has your experience been in the stock market from the start to what you're right now?
Okay, so see, it's been 5 years since I'm trading. And one thing that I would like to tell anyone, any trader, any person who can sustain in the market for 5 years, not make profit, sustain in the market for 5 years, they are going to be successful, no matter what it is.
Okay.
Because but like not like you're taking one trade in a year and then you're telling like, yeah, fine. 5 years you need to sustain, continuously work hard towards it, work towards every single day that you have given. I started off in 2020. I'm telling you, Shashank, there have been days where I'm crying in the washroom, where I have lost so much money. And it's not my money, it's my father's money. Right, because I had no job, I had nothing. My dad gave me a capital. I have lost that money completely, starting off with option trading, because obviously when you're starting off, you see quick money in options, right? You see 100% gain, 200% gain in a day. So there have been days like that where I started off in 2021, 2022, whole of the first 3 years, I would say. First 2.5 years, in fact. There have been days where I have made a lot of money. Okay, but there have been days, next 2-3 days, I have lost everything. And then I'm going into the washroom, I'm crying, I'm feeling anxious, like what am I going to do, what am I going to tell my dad? But in that way, my parents have been very supportive. Like they have not told a single word to me. So yeah, so that is how what my trading had come to at a point. Like obviously, I think every trader goes through that. Like honestly speaking, I'm sure you have gone through that, like, right, losing money initially and then slowly understanding what is the mistake that I'm doing, what is the thing that needs to be changed, right? So those are the few things that I think it's a very thin line between being successful and being unsuccessful. People talk about strategy, people talk about a million things, but no one talks about this side. People talk about the success.
Correct.
No one talks about the background that goes behind that.
Correct.
The hard work, till like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., I'm sitting at the charts, looking at the charts, back testing my strategies, what went wrong today, why is this happening, while I'm crying. So all this has come, like I have gone through all this. So yeah, I mean, that is something what is my trading in short. If you talk about, that is how everything. And right now when I'm talking, right now I can say proudly that I am able to sustain for 5 years, even though there was no capital. I was sustaining, I was still doing everything. I have grown from a small capital, I have grown to a very big capital right now comparatively. So yeah, I won't say I'm an HNI or something, but yeah, I'm 25 years old, and I have grown to a certain level, which I'm pretty happy about right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
I wanted to point out something which you said, like the 5 years of hard work.
Yeah.
People just notice your profits.
Exactly.
They do not look at the 5 years of hard work, 5
Exactly.
years of pain.
Exactly.
Like what I feel about trading is there is one spark which has to click. So how I became a profitable trader from being a losing trader for 3 years and being in profit for 3 years. The thing is, a spark hit me, be it many aspects of trading, but once that hits, the time changes.
Absolutely.
When I was facing the first 3 years, there was a lot of stress, which I was not able to manage, and I started with a very, very basic capital, very small capital, started losing my hairline. All that happened in the first 3 years, and probably in the last 3 years of trading, which I have made profits continuously, the hair is intact and the stress levels are pretty much very controlled. So initial days, like when people come into the market, this is my question for you. They are expecting a very big return out of a very small capital. Okay, I wanted to understand what is the difference between having a small capital for trading and having a big capital for trading. What is the major difference which you feel?
Very good question. I think I would like to point out this question is very important for everyone who's coming into the market newly. They think getting big capital means getting big profits initially, which is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. When you're coming into the market, you know nothing about the market, right? So you firstly, okay, let me give an example. Let me give a scenario. When you start traveling, say you're in Bangalore, when you want to go somewhere out, doesn't mean the first trip ever that you're going to do is not going to be in US. It's probably going to be somewhere around this area, around the Bangalore area, right? You start off small. You start off, then you probably go to Mumbai, then you go to Delhi, and then you go out of country, and then probably you go to US, right? Like, because that's far. So you need to start off from there. Getting a big capital is something you have to understand when you're coming into the market. Whatever money you're getting, say be it 10,000, be it 20,000, be it 1 lakh, be it 10 lakhs, you have to know this one fact that you are going to lose it all. First capital is you're going to lose it all. So it's up to you. What do? You get 10,000, you want to lose that. You want to get 10 lakh, you want to lose that. It's better to lose 10,000, right?
Correct.
So because that's a market fee, there is no such institute right now that you pay money and you learn everything and then you're like, okay, if you pay 10,000, you're going to be profitable. That's not the case. Or if you pay 10 lakh, you're going to be profitable.
Correct.
So you get a small capital, you learn with that small capital, you take 1 or 2 trades. You don't come here to make 100% return in a day. You don't come here. No one comes into the stock market. Beginners come into the stock market to make 100%. If you see big money, they come here to make 10 to 15% in a year.
Correct.
That's very important. So small capital again. So you can scale up slowly once you start understanding what's happening in the market. What are the tips and tricks that needs to be done? What are the things that is your mind into this right space to understand? Are you understanding what the stock market is about? So that is something that I would like to say. So yeah, beginning small capital is what I would suggest. Big capital, I did this mistake. I got a big capital initially. I did this mistake because no one was there to guide me. I got a big capital for myself. That was a very big capital. I got 5 lakhs initially. Then I got a 10. Then after that again another 5 lakhs I put in. Everything I lost. Everything was gone. But you have to understand that you learn, because I came into the motive of making money into the market. Directly I wanted to make money. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to know what stock market is, how it works. I wanted to make money, which every beginner comes into to do that. Okay, they think, acha, theek hai, one day I'm going to take a 10 rupee call option that's going to go to 100. Usually that doesn't happen. Once in a while you might get lucky, but next 2-3 days you're going to lose it all. Okay, so that is the main difference. But one more difference is like the difference between small and big capital. I would say small capital people cannot sustain for long. Okay, but a big capital, if you have, okay, let's take a scenario where a person just wants to make 15% in a year and one person has a capital of 1 crore. You are making 15 lakh rupees in a year. Okay, that will make sense to you. But if you're making 15% on a 1 lakh capital in a year, that doesn't make sense. 15, you're not coming here to make 15,000 rupees.
Correct.
So you have to understand the balance between the time that you're putting that money and the knowledge that you have then putting the money. So you have to give in both, you have to combine both 1 and 1 and then make a 2. right? So you have to understand, are you able to understand, then bring in the big capital, then it makes sense for you to make 15 lakh in a year. That will make sense to you, okay? Otherwise, I would say it's very hard for a small capital because big sharks come and eat you. If you have a big capital, you can manage your trades very well. You can have trades to probably hedge your position. Once you hedge your position as well, you can do a lot of things once you have big capital, okay? Because you utilize only 30% of your capital. I utilize only 30 to 40% of my capital, maximum 50% of my capital in some trades. And the 50% is still left with me. 50% is left, and then I use that 50% to say, imagine I'm seeing a very good trade, like imagine something has gone against me. I'm seeing it's reversing from here. My stop loss is still not hit. I'll average my position.
Okay.
So something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of small capital, I have had a few students, very talented lads. What they did was they came in with a small capital before the lot size was increased, before the premiums were high. They came into me with a capital of 5 to 10,000. Let's keep it at that price.
Okay.
They had gone to 6-7 lakhs in option buying.
They started off with 10,000 and they
With
made
10,000, they went into 6-7 lakh
They
profit.
put money or they made money?
They made money in the
wow.
market.
Okay.
So they were very consistent.
Yeah.
Probably even at that point of time, market also was very supportive for them. Not that they were doing it all by their analysis, even the market was supporting them. So that was 90% and 10% might have been their hard work, what they put in. But what I've observed with small capital is, once people make money with small capital, they get a lot of ego.
Yeah.
So, okay, the stock market is mine. From tomorrow, I'm going to rule.
I'm going to rule it.
In this year, I'm going to make 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. They have this kind of desire. But I've observed a few people who have carried on from there. But few people who told or who have thought that I'm going to make big money have lost it all completely. And as you rightly mentioned, you use only 30 to 40% of your capital. They do not keep any buffer. They are going all in on an option buying trade. So this is what mistakes people make.
That's the biggest disaster.
Correct.
Like, okay, fine. If you're using 100% of your capital, say 90% of your capital, it shouldn't be an option buying.
Correct.
Option buying is what, guys? It's like you're in the air. The money is in the air. You don't know what is going to happen with options.
Correct.
Options, next thing you know is today it is at 100, tomorrow it is at 30. You never know.
Correct.
So I think that's the biggest disaster. You're 70. It's not like people are not seeing, okay, it's at 100, it's at 30 means 70 rupees only gone. No.
Correct.
It's 70% drawdown.
Correct.
People are not seeing that.
Correct.
So I think that thing that you mentioned, that's something that I think every beginner, it needs to come from within. Like how much ever you tell someone, they will not probably understand that until it comes from within. Acha, okay, fine.
Until they go through that process.
Everyone has to go through that process. Like the process of actually losing the money and then understanding, oh, why was I holding this option? Why did I put all my money into this one particular option or trade? That is when they realize, which is very important.
And for the people, for the traders who are successful in their initial days, what suggestion would you give them to control their emotions? So even ego is an emotion.
Yeah.
So they feel good about themselves, about trading. So whenever I am doing good, I take a break. Whenever I am doing bad, I keep working hard, keep following the process, stay disciplined. So that is my approach. What is your approach, and what would you tell the traders who are doing well and have to control their and stay under limit in their trading?
Good question. I would like to point out one thing. Trading is a game where your emotions are at its peak. Okay. What happens in trading with every trader, initially every trader usually makes profit. That you call it as a beginner's luck. Okay.
Correct.
Beginner's luck. When a trader starting off, when a trader is very fascinated by, oh, I'm going to make money into the market. They make money into the market initially. Say 4 to 5 trades initially will go well. Then their ego comes into place that you're talking about. Like, I am the king of the stock market. I know everything, right? But that doesn't work that way. When someone's having a very good day, like especially a beginner, let's talk about beginner, then let's talk about what amateurs do and professionals do. Okay, let's talk about what beginners do. What they will do is, okay, today I've made, say, X amount of money, 10,000 rupees. Okay, let's put that 10,000 back into the market today only, and let's make that into 20,000. What happens? Fine, 20,000 ho gaya. What happens next? They make, okay, 20 ka, let's make it 30, let's make it 40, because I'm making money.
Okay.
20,000 will go back to 10,000. Now this 10,000 is there. How do I get it back to 20,000? I'll quit trading for the day.
Correct.
What happens? 10,000 goes back to zero.
Zero.
Okay. First of all, they're not counting the brokerage, they're not counting the STT, everything. They're not counting that. Okay. So your PNL MTM shows zero. That zero becomes, again, they'll be overtrading. That goes to minus 20, minus 30, and then 330. Then they realize, oh, I had this profit. Why am I still trading? Probably they'll do that mistake over and over again. What I prefer for this is what beginners do. What do professionals do? They make money today, say 10,000. Let's keep a 10,000 account. 10,000, they will take risk on 3,000 rupees. They have made 10,000. They are taking back 7,000 no matter what. They take the risk on 3,000. If that 10,000 turns into 20, well and good. If it hits 7,000, if my MTM hits 7,000 even once, I'm out of the trade. I'm out for the day. Then what they do is, okay, fine. Now my trading is done. Let's say their stop loss is hit 7,000. They're closing the day. They go out. What I personally do when I have few continuous good days or few continuous bad days that you were talking about, I prefer to travel. Okay, I just leave everything. I leave Bangalore. I go to travel wherever it is. So I make sure that I'm traveling at least once in 2-3 months. Okay, no matter where it is, I have to just go because trading is so stressful. It is so stressful. Like I'm telling you, it can be. Obviously it gives you money, but it is stressful. Honestly, seeing charts 20 like for like the whole day, it can be stressful, and with all the emotion that's coming in, greed, fear, because every professional also is a human being. Correct. They also have emotions. They cannot be robot. They cannot do algo trading. They're not doing algo trading. So no matter how professional they are, that 1% and how professional you have mastered your emotions, that little bit of human emotions are still going to be there. Correct. Okay, my money is there. That greed, that fear, that emotions are still at its peak. Okay, obviously not as beginners, they have reduced it. That's why what happens when few good days or bad days are there, when my emotions are like, okay, now what do? I've made so much money, I'm happy. Okay, people get happy, but like that is not how it's supposed to be. Leave trading, quit trading, go out, enjoy yourself. You're having bad days, you're very sad. What do? Leave it, go travel. So travel will give you that openness, that your mind opens up, and then once you come back, you're with a fresh mind. You're starting from zero. You think you're starting from zero, which is the best thing that you need to do. Whether you're having good days or bad days, you need to think that you have to start from square one the next day. You cannot be starting thinking, oh, I have made 1 lakh rupees profit tomorrow or yesterday. Tomorrow also I'm going to make 1 lakh. It's very variable. It's not a constant. Trading profits are not constant. Okay. So for that, you need a clear mind. Traveling gives you that. Traveling gives you a clear mind. Traveling gives you a thought, openness of thought, so that you come back with a clear head, and then you can enjoy your trading process. It should not be a burden. Trading should not be a burden, I feel. Okay.
Aryan, people forget that we all got into trading so that we could spend enough time traveling. That is why initial days when I was entering into the stock market, people used to say, when you're in a particular job, you don't get time to travel, you don't get family time. All these restrictions are there. But once we enter to trading, we get a lot of opportunities to travel. But people are in front of the charts 24/7, I think, which clutters their mind, makes them have a narrow thinking. So I keep traveling. I'm fascinated about mountains. I keep going for treks here and there. So that gives me an open mind. So when I come back from a trip, so I have an open mind, I have clarity of thought. So it helps me do better in the market. So I do my analysis well. I do not have much disturbances. I do not have stress. The levels are down. So all these things help. As you mentioned, traveling helps a lot for all traders. Even I keep requesting my students to take continuous breaks. Like if they are going through a bad period, keep discipline and stay focused on your process. But if you're doing well, go take a break and come back. So these are the things I think which our traders have to focus.
I mean, see, we both can relate to it, right? Correct. So both of us are on the same page right now. So I think everyone who gets to that level, initially, I think it's going to be hard for them to actually think, like, should I leave trading? You have to work hard, obviously, but like once you're in that phase, you can travel. Like that should definitely be an option for you. So I think that is one point that every person, every trader needs to understand, right? So we're on the same page on that.
Correct. So, and Aryan, like let's say I am in my academy till 9 o'clock. I go home after dinner. I all of a sudden get a call. Sir, I'm putting my resignation papers. So I want to start full-time trading. So these people, few people have good capital which they have saved up. Few people do not have capital which they have saved up. So if they are planning on becoming full-time traders, what all aspects should they consider and how should they take this decision?
Okay, starting off with myself, I was very privileged that my parents took care of everything. I was young. If you're young and if you have your parents to take care of you, then it's okay that with studying you're doing this. But for someone who's in their 30s, mid 30s, say 40s, early 40s, for them to leave their job completely and come into trading, they need to know this one maths that I usually tell people to follow. They have to be making at least 4x of what the salary they are making right now. Say a person's salary is 1 lakh rupees. Until they don't make 4 lakhs from the market in a month, they cannot leave their job.
Okay.
With doing their job, you have to make sure that you are learning all this. You are learning market, that is okay. You are trading into the market, that is okay. But completely leaving their job just to start trading, or until you don't have 4x of your annual income for 4-5 years, you're not set. Like imagine your yearly income is 12 lakh rupees. You need to have 48 to 50 lakh rupees in your bank to fund your lifestyle, to fund your trading capital, to fund everything. Until that doesn't happen, you cannot leave your trading. Okay, so that you have, if you have 50 lakhs in your bank account, you are living your life with that. You are, say, 15 lakh rupees you have taken out for your trading capital. You can still live on 35 lakh rupees for 2 years easily. Even if you have a family of 2 to 3 or 4, you can live with a capital of 35 to 40 lakh rupees for 2 years. Okay, 2 to 3 years you can have in bank if you're staying in Bangalore. So what I would say, until that you don't have, it is a bad decision to leave your job completely to just get into trading, because trading is a very, very uncertain place.
Correct.
Today you're making money, tomorrow you're not. What if you're not making money for the next 3 months? That phases will come. What if you're not making money for 6 months? It's not like you're getting 1 lakh rupees every month in your account, right?
Correct.
So, and if that doesn't happen, the person goes into stress. The person will be like, what do I do next? What do I do? How do I fund my family? Okay, so that thing is very important. So until that doesn't happen, until you don't have 4x of your current salary into your account that you're making from the market, I'm talking about markets, not from other sources. Until then, you should not leave any jobs at all. If you have 25,000 if you're making in a month, then 1 lakh rupees if you're making from the market, well good. Okay. Leave your job tomorrow. Okay, and then that consistency should be there at least for 6 months. At least for 6 months. So that you know you have your money, you have your backup ready. In case you lose money into the market, you have your backup.
Correct.
Because every professional also loses money into the market.
Correct.
Okay, it's not like, see, I'll tell you one, I'm not sure, have you watched this movie called Big Short?
Yeah.
So in that fellow was losing money for 3 years. He shorted the market in 2005, I think, 2005. Michael Burry. He shorted the market in 2005. He got his rewards in 2008. Okay, so for 3 years he was able to short the market. Why? Because he had money.
Yeah.
He had his clients' money, whatever, but he had money. He was able to short the market. He got all the returns. So I think, and he did not go into frustration. So for 3 years, imagine you're not making money. You're just shorting, and obviously with calculated risk. But like, he did not lose his mind. He did not think, oh, 3 years I've not made money. What should I do next? So that is one very simple, example I can give right now. And this is what I would say to people who want to actually quit their job for trading. I think this should answer your question.
Okay.
Very important.
And Aryan, a few years back, I think on your social media platform, I think you were giving a speech at Lions Club, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So it still is an inspiration for me about what you said on the stage. That you told what people with your qualification are making in a year, you're making it in a month.
Yeah.
So that is an inspiration for many traders who are coming into the markets recently, that trading has no limitations in terms of earnings.
Absolutely.
So if you have calculated risks, as you told, you mentioned the movie Big Short.
Yeah.
If you have calculated risks, if you have enough backups, you can achieve great things in stock market.
Trading is that field.
Correct.
Trading is that field where you only don't know what you're capable of, right? It's such a huge place to be. It's a place where all the big people, you will not see any small people coming and talking. Like, that's why, in India also, I'm not just general, I'm talking about general education system, they don't talk about it. They don't have that growth mindset. But like when you go to US, when you go to the Wall Street, when you go to New York, you will see people, everyone talking about investments. When you go to the developed countries, everyone is only investing. Okay, be it market, be it bonds, be it FD, though mostly not, I would not suggest. Be it bonds, be it the cryptos. So they talk about investing, they talk about different asset classes, right? So I think that is where, what I'm saying, it's a huge market, it's a huge place to be. Like I am in a place where I can see the whole world open. So
the entire mindset of, you mentioned US, the entire mindset people have is a growth mindset.
It's a growth mindset. Exactly.
In India, people have a saving mindset.
Saving mindset.
So which is not giving them any growth.
Absolutely. Like anyone, obviously for that matter, people say you're getting 10 rupees or 20 rupees soft drink somewhere. Anywhere you get 18 rupees, you will prefer doing that, even if you have to travel to get that 18 rupees bottle. So you're saving that, people think, oh, I'm saving that 2 rupees. So that is the mindset of every Indian individuals. So I think that is where the difference come into play.
Correct.
Right? That is where the difference come into play.
As you rightly mentioned, US has a 40% of investing population, while India has, I think, active is less than 2.
Less than 2%.
Probably.
Yeah.
So the already invested might be 2, and active is very less.
Very less.
Even in trading, it is very less compared to other developed countries.
Absolutely.
So what I feel, why is it in such less numbers is due to the restrictions which our families have given us. So even when I entered into markets, people told, hey, this person has lost this much, this person has lost this much. We were given all bad examples to start off with.
Exactly.
So that has to change, and people have to come into a mindset that if you invest, there is a lot of growth in future. Compounding is going to help you a lot.
No one talks about that, right?
Correct.
That's the saddest thing. Right now, fine, people are getting educated. There are a lot of people coming into the market and people talking about it, right?
Correct.
You see a lot of influencers actually educating people. But this is starting now. Like the majority of our Indian population is young. Okay, so that youngsters, they need to start early. They have to understand. Warren Buffett started what age? 13 years old.
Correct.
So his growth compound. He had time to compound his growth.
Correct.
I'm not saying invest 50,000 a month. I'm saying invest 5,000 a month. Okay, at least invest 2,000 in a month if you don't have money.
Correct.
That's the safest thing you can do, so that you have a backup. Okay, like if you're going out, you're partying. Youngsters, what do they do right now? They go out, they party, they spend 5,000 rupees, say, on a food or drinks, whatever they do.
Okay.
I would say instead of that, like, fine, go out. I'm not saying stop doing that, but like you need to have like one more set of capital that you have to invest. Do it very religiously. So that shouldn't be compromised.
Okay. So Aryan, one more thing what I wanted to speak is, so we are having a conversation about trading. So I want to get in deep dive into what is your trading process and what kind of trades you take. Do you prefer intraday, which is done in the same day, or you go positional swing trading, or you focus on long-term investments?
Perfect. So as you spoke, you were asking me about what I do, what do I prefer in trading. So usually when I started off with intraday trading, which everyone does. But when I got deeply into that, I understood that intraday trading is a lot more stressful. Okay, you make money, you lose money, you make money, you lose money.
Okay.
I was probably not able to handle that. I decided, like, okay, fine. What are the next type of trading that I can do?
Okay.
So I shifted to swing trading. Swing trading positional gets into like 1 months. I don't do that.
Okay.
I do swing trading. Swing trading will have a 1 week to 3 weeks or 4 weeks, maximum 1 month. Duration, and then I usually look to select my stocks. See, there are 240 stocks in the Indian stock market in F&O, that is listed in F&O. Okay, around 240. So every 240 stocks that are listed, there has been a coding that I have done, my cousin has done actually, my brother, and he has made a list. Okay, so in this list, I have all the stocks that I need to trade. I don't want to look into 240 stocks in a day.
Okay.
What do I want to do? I want my work to be much lesser. I want to analyze, say, 20 stocks, 30 stocks in a day. So what he has done is, like, he has taken all the strategies, taken all the stocks into one platform where we can actually find out the right stocks to trade for a duration. Like, these are all swing trading stocks.
Okay.
Say in these stocks, in this, let's see, it's written all Lelo, 15 minutes, at least 2 of 3. What does this mean? This means this is at a good place to pick at 15-minute level, at a daily level, and at a weekly level. Okay, so these stocks, like currently I can pick up, I will have a look at these 3 stocks. This is one column that I look at. Next column that I look at is breakout. Like what are the current week and last week's
Aryan,
breakout?
I would like to interrupt here.
Yeah, please.
So is the scanner based out of time frames?
It's based out of time frames as well. Like these are 15 minutes. These are actually confluence of all the time frames.
Okay.
Like I have, until it doesn't fit all the time frame, it will not come here.
It will not come.
15 minutes, daily and weekly.
So it is basically like a multi-time frame.
Multi-time frame analysis. This does for me. I don't have to do that mehnat.
Okay.
So in this, what am I going to do? Let's see which stocks are giving breakouts. Okay. So Canara Bank. Let's see Canara Bank is giving a breakout. Let's type CanBK. Okay. Okay, this is the last week breakout. Week breakout. So you can see here, this was the last week high, right? This was the last week high. It is giving a breakout. If I just make this into, so this is giving a breakout. So this can potentially be a very good swing trading stock for me. Now, what am I going to see? Is this closing above these levels? Okay, and you can see the previous volumes. The volumes have been amazing. This has been doing well. So this I can keep in my radar to probably take a trade in this. Okay, and if you see, this is a long-term trend line that has been coming and it is breaking a good supply area. Okay. Next, what am I going to see? There is APL Apollo HCL Tech. Okay, let's see APL Apollo tubes. What's happening? Look at this. What a beautiful chart.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last week breakout. You can see obviously here. Last week breakout. This doesn't show like all-time high break or something.
Okay.
So here, what I can see probably it can reach at these levels. This is one supply area that you can see, right? Obviously. So this is one. Stock that I can have. Last week, what trade I took is one trade I took was Escorts or Bharat. I think Bharat Forge it was. Bharat Forge. Yeah. So Bharat Forge was one. See, I'll show you here. I think Bharat Forge was here. Oh, it's not here right now. Last week this was here. Okay. Last week it was here, and it was also in the breakout list. Last week breakout. So why? Because here you can see this was a consolidation that was going on. Right, you see a small consolidation here. Like after rally, there's been consolidation, and then this was the breakout. So I took a trade here, and then here I'm still. Yesterday was 3% up. Today also it's almost 2.5% up. I'm still holding this trade. So this basically gives me like a very brief idea about what's happening in the market. If I want today, I can take a trade in any of these. Like if I say I don't have charts, I can blindly trust this. Canara Bank, I'll go ahead and take this. I'm not watching the charts. I'll go ahead and take Canara Bank.
Okay.
But that also comes with the risk. What do I trade? I don't just take a future and leave it. What am I doing? I am taking a trade in this. I am hedging my position. So because I'm taking an overnight position, right? So once you're taking an overnight position, and if you're not hedging your position,
you always have the risk.
You have that risk tomorrow. What if it's 10% down?
Correct.
What if some news comes in, it's 10% down? So I hedge my position, say with 5% of the put. Say I'm taking Canara Bank futures at, let's say Bharat Forge futures at 1200 rupees. It's 1200 rupees. I take futures. I'm gonna hedge my position with a 5% of that. Okay, so probably around 1120, 1140 put I will take and hedge that with it. So that tomorrow, even if it opens 10% down, I'm not in a loss. Like I have a loss that is like it's defined. It is defined. Tomorrow I can sleep peacefully. I know that I'm even if it opens 180% down, I'm hedged. I'm secured. Okay, because it's in futures. What will happen? They're giving you leverage, 5x leverage. Imagine it opens 10% down. 50% of your capital is gone.
Capital is gone.
And 20% down, your whole capital is gone, right? But if you're hedging your position, you will get, once if future shows loss, the hedging position will show you profit. Because it is put.
Reduce your losses.
It defines it defines my losses as well. So my that is something that I follow, where I will first take a put. I will not take a futures. What I do before taking any trade, I take my puts before I take my trades. And then what I do, say my target of this is, let's say here. Let's say my Bharat Forge target is 1250. I'm going to sell at 1250, 1260 call. So with that what happens? Let me show you with this. Let me show you. Wait 1 second. I'll show you so that it gets easier for people to understand. Wait. This is the one. Yes. This is my old limits and loss right now. 97, this is okay. So what I was saying, let's create a basket. Okay, let's say I'm taking a Bharat Forge position. What am I going to do? Let's say I want to take a Bharat Forge futures. May futures is there. I'm going to take one lot. Let's just take an example with one lot. I have to pay 1,36,000.
Correct.
And if I go and see, my maximum loss is unlimited.
Correct.
Right? But similarly, if I do a 1140 or 1160 PE Bharat Forge of May, this is trading at, you have to pay 6,000 rupees premium. You 13 rupees you're giving. Your first of all, your margin reduces. Can you see 52,000? How that 1,40,000 reduces to 52.
Correct.
Now you will analyze this position. My maximum loss is 42,000.
42,000.
If it goes up, my maximum profit is unlimited.
Correct,
Right? It can keep going up. My profit keeps increasing.
Correct.
But imagine tomorrow it opens 10% down. Okay, let's say it here 10%. My loss is 35 only. But if I don't have this put position, it's 62.
62,000.
Yes, and then this keeps reducing and this keeps increasing. But if I just add my put here, it's only that much.
Correct.
Right? So this is very important. And then with this, what am I going to do? I'm going to probably sell a 1260 call. Okay, with this, what will happen, I'll tell you. Let's say I'll sell this. 52,000 is the total this required.
Correct.
This 61 will be required.
Okay.
So in this, now what happens? Even if market doesn't move anywhere, okay, I'm making profit on this.
Correct.
Even if say it stays here, I'm making profit. My maximum profit is fine, it's 19,000 only. But my loss also has reduced drastically.
Correct.
30,000. So with 61,000 rupees capital, if I'm able to make say maximum 20,000, even if I'm making 10,000, it is 6%.
Correct.
So, it's almost 6 to 10%. Yeah.
Correct.
So let's say from here now my stock goes up. I'm making profit. Stock keeps going up, I'm making profit. Stocks goes down by end of the 16 days to expiry, but if I go here and I'm still making profit.
Correct.
Right? So in this way, I am making profit no matter what.
Correct.
And my loss is very much hedged. Okay, so this gives me a peace of mind, because when you're trading futures, when you're trading an overnight futures, it can be very risky.
Very risky.
So because stocks are very volatile, anything can happen tomorrow. Any stocks can come in, anything can happen. So yeah, this is where I select my stocks from, and this is where I analyze trading. I go to TradingView, I analyze my stocks, and then I go to my basket. I create a basket and then execute this.
Okay.
Okay.
Aryan, what I've seen students do is they do not like to hedge. Because their profits get limited.
Yeah.
They are not worrying about the loss, they're only targeting their profit. So what would you tell a person with this kind of a mindset?
That mindset is a destructive mindset. Okay, because when you're in the market, when I say nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Correct.
Everyone's just analyzing it. With experience, they increase their analysis power and they get better with it.
Correct.
So when you're starting off and when you're thinking, you shouldn't be thinking of making money. You should be thinking about how you're going to restrict your money. Your capital, once it's gone, it's gone.
Correct.
You have nothing to trade.
Correct.
So you have to always restrict your losses. I think for people who think that, I'm making less money by hedging my position, you are making less money, but why are you not thinking the back end? Like, you are also losing less.
Correct.
You're also not losing your money, complete capital into this. So I think that is something that everyone needs to come from within. Again, as I told you, and I cannot help people.
Yeah.
They have to help themselves.
Correct.
So even if tomorrow, say Jim Simons, one of the greatest trader, he comes and tells me, do this, until I don't feel that the need of doing it, I will not do it.
Correct.
I will listen to him, but I will not do it.
Correct.
So that is very important. I think one, if you want to sustain in the market, always hedge your position. If you're doing intraday, always put a stop loss. This is why, why I prefer not putting a stop loss, because I hedge my position. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
Even if I don't put stop loss, I'm sleeping well.
Your capital is
My
preserved.
capital is preserved, my maximum loss is done. I know how much it is. I can bear that much. It's okay.
At the end of the day, if you have capital, if you save your capital today, you can trade tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That is the main thing people have to focus on.
That is the main thing.
Aryan, recently I've seen a lot of people come up with a lot of things which is almost fooling people that they can earn this much money in the market. Actually, I was looking at a data of SEBI. They have told that people who have made more than 10 crore profit in the Indian market in the last financial year is around 120 people. But on Instagram, you'll see 500 to 600 people who have posted that they have made more than 10 crore profit in a single year. So what would you tell? So these things, like in terms of many platforms, you get a fake demo app which you can show fake profits. What would you tell these kind of people who are showing unrealistic returns with unrealistic capital which they have? Let's say someone who has a capital of 1 lakh, he's telling I can make 10 lakh in a month. So what would you tell these kind of people who are trying to sell dreams which are not real?
Okay, this is one point that really irritates me. Like if I'm talking about trading, if you talk about one thing that I cannot stand are these people.
Okay.
The people who come on YouTube, the so-called finfluencers who come on YouTube, who show their profits and show their living, like the standard of living, to gauge in the attention of the young crowd. Say 16, 17 years old who want to understand what financial market is. What are they going to think? This guy, he's at the age of say 25, say 20, 25, 28. He has made X amount of money. He's living in Dubai. He's having that fun, that lifestyle that I need. But what is going to go in their head? They're going to think like, okay, I'm going to get into the market today. 3 years down the line, I'm making money no matter what happens. Okay. So they are selling dreams that is very unrealistic, very unrealistic. When I talk about they are making money, say from courses, from affiliate programs, whatever. Because until someone is not coming and verified P&L, they're not showing. I don't think they have the right to show their lifestyle. Honestly, they don't have the right to show any lifestyle. If you're making that money, I know people who make money into the market who are very quiet about it. Very quiet. Because if someone who's actually making money, do you think hedge fund traders, big hedge fund traders, do you know anyone? Honestly, on social media, I don't know anyone. Social media, they don't come and they don't show their P&L. They don't show, oh, I'm roaming around in a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce, right? So that lifestyle that you're showing, you're basically misguiding the young generation is what I'm feeling. And when that happens, the majority of the crowd, few people understand, fine, this is fake. But majority of the crowd don't understand that. Their P&L is fake. Maybe their lifestyle is, few people actually have that lifestyle. But how have they made that money? Is it the right way they have made money? They have made money from an X source, but they are telling they have made money through trading, which is wrong.
And I recently came across this thing that many of the Forex platforms in India, Forex is fully restricted and traders are not supposed to trade it from India. So the platforms, what they are doing is they are hiring influencers and giving them a fake account to show this kind of profit that traders have made, which is influencing all the crowd.
Absolutely.
I like when we started our academy, people used to come, sir, I want to learn stock market. Then slowly it shifted to, sir, I want to learn Forex.
Absolutely.
I was telling Forex has a lot of regulations.
Absolutely.
Like the Indian government right now are not tapping on this particular space. But in future, if they come in and start targeting these people, they're all going to get into big trouble.
Absolutely.
So these are the things which are finfluencers, so-called finfluencers, as you told, are showing and selling dreams which are very unrealistic. Let's say someone who has a capital, let's say I have a capital of 10 lakhs. In a year, I make 70-80% return, which is a very big return.
Very big return.
Very big return. That is not sufficient for people. So people, what they're expecting is, boss, he started with 10 lakhs, he's at 1 CR in 1 year. So these kind of things people are interested, and this is as a trader.
So true.
And if you go speak to big hedge fund managers, as you told, they're going to laugh at you if you tell them I made 10 lakhs to 1 CR. So these kind of things are going on a lot.
This has started a lot now. Like when you see, this wasn't there 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line. The lifestyle showing has started off now because they know how to tap into the young minds.
Correct.
Like if you show them the lifestyle, they will buy what you're giving them.
Correct.
I won't specify a course or something, but like people do that. They show a lifestyle, oh, even you can make this lifestyle, take this course. Buy this course, you will have this lifestyle. It doesn't work that way, guys. Right? Come on. I mean, that's the... It's people's also. People also need to understand that has nothing. You're buying a course, you're learning has nothing to do with your success into the market, as I've mentioned already.
Correct. Exactly.
Right? That has nothing to do. And especially for all I made a video as well where I felt people selling courses based on option buying. That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen, because option buying is the hardest way to make money into the market.
Correct.
Hardest way. And people are showing them, like, today I've got an option, tomorrow it's turning 10x. Fine, that happens. But you cannot sell a course based on that. No, you cannot sell dreams based on that. Make your money 10 guna kar do paisa. Like, I have seen that. Okay, and just buy this course and something like that. And then those influencers will make money here. They will sell their courses. They move to Dubai. Move to Dubai, then everything over there, whatever they do, that's different. So that is something I don't want to affiliate myself with. I would never. You'll never see me selling a lifestyle. Maybe teaching someone is a very different thing. What you are doing, you're not selling lifestyle, right? You are not going on telling people, okay, today if you take my course, tomorrow you are earning a Lamborghini. That doesn't happen with you, right? That is something that people have to understand. Like institutes and like educators also need to understand that, and influencers especially need to understand that. So yeah,
Aryan, after all these years, when we entered trading, people who guided us always told us to keep journaling our trades. So do you till date follow that process?
Yes. So journaling is actually very helpful. Like, say, be it life or be it trading.
Okay.
Life also, people need to journal what have they done since morning, so that when you look back to, like, tomorrow, when you see what happened yesterday, you will know what's happening in your life. Similarly, in trading, when you take a trade, 2 days, 3 days later, you forget, okay, what trades, there are so many trades that you're taking. Like, say, I take about 20-25 trades in a month. Okay, that's a lot. I don't remember every of it. So 6 years down the line, I want to know, what did I do? What wrong? Did I make profit? Did I make loss in that trade? I usually journal. Okay, I won't say 100%. 90% of my trades are always journaled. And when you talk about journaling, I have made this trading journal, which I'll share with you. You can share it on the screen if that's okay.
Yeah.
Where I write my trades, I take a picture of the chart of why I took that trade. I write down what are my emotions while I'm in the trade, okay? And I also write down if I'm making profit and loss, that's normal. Whether it's a profit, whether it's a loss, how many lots am I taking of that particular trade? So all that, right now you'll not feel anything, but when that drawdown period comes, say your period of you're not making money for 1 month, 2 months, you're not making money, you're in loss. That time when you look back into those trades, what are the things that I did right? That journal will tell you. So that is very important. Like, you will not understand the value of it right now, but when you look back at it, you will realize how important, like, these journal, when I'm seeing it right now, this was the process that I followed and made my trading right. So when that drawdown phase comes, you can have a look at your trading journal, and then you can understand what was going right, what was going wrong in that phase of life, so that you can get back on track. So that's very important. I think everyone needs to journal. Be it, fine, you don't journal in a very complicated way. Just write down what are your emotions, write down your P&L, how much you took. That's it. 2-3 things you just have to follow. My journal is very, like, elaborated.
Correct.
But people who are starting off, they can just start off by talking about that, how much money they made, what price they took, what price they exited, and what are the emotions. That's very important.
Before we started this particular conversation, when you showed me, I was impressed with the last point. How was your emotions when you were in the trade? So even you're having a control of that, you're listing down how was your thought process during the trade, which is a very good thing.
You know why that happens? What happens, because as I have mentioned before, everyone is a human being.
Correct.
Even if I can say, like, fine, I have been in the market for so long, I have mastered my emotions, I will not be able to do that 100% of the time. Even I will feel scared. I will feel like, okay, now that greed is going to be there, that fear is going to be there, that ego is going to be there, like, I am the market maker, something like that. So I am very open about it. So for that, to calm myself, to put myself in the right place, I have to journal. So that I later on understand, you are not God, you are under the market. So I make myself understand that. Okay. So that is what happens. That is why it's so important.
Understood. So that point is also noted.
Very important.
And Aryan, when you compare the global markets and when you look at the Indian markets, what difference do you usually see?
Okay, so see, global market, let's talk about different asset classes as a whole. Indian markets, is okay. It's good. It's a developing country. It's a very big market, but you will not call this a big market if you compare this to a forex market. Forex market, the market cap of forex is $2.4 quadrillion. It's not trillion, it's quadrillion dollars. When you talk about world economy, world equity market, it is at only at 115 or 120 trillion dollars. Okay, that is very less. And inside that, when you talk about India, that is at about $4 trillion equity market. So daily, okay, let's talk about forex once, even though it's not legal. Let's talk about forex. The daily trading volume of forex is about $6 to $7 trillion daily volume, which is more than the Indian whole equity market.
Correct.
So I think that is one drawback about the equity market or the Indian markets that I would say is like whenever you're trying to enter a trade, or when liquidity is one issue, and if someone comes into Indian markets with a lot of money, they can shake the market.
Correct.
In forex, you cannot do that. You cannot operate the money. People call operators, right? That is what happens.
Okay.
So when you get into the Indian market or the equity market with a certain capital, you can shake it. So I think that operator moves that they call it, that is something that can be done in the Indian market, which is one of the drawbacks that I feel.
Okay.
But again, like I am an Indian, I want the country to grow, and the country is growing. So I would like to contribute something to it. That's why I'm trading in Indian markets.
Okay.
Obviously, there is somewhere in the back of my head, I want to shift to probably a global market. I want to look into US markets, want to look into say Chinese market or Hong Kong or anything. But when I'm in India, I will trade Indian markets. So.
Understood. And what understanding I got from you telling is, in the Indian markets, because of the lack of liquidity, when you compare it to the forex market, it is very easy to manipulate.
Absolutely.
So we are trading in a very difficult market situation.
Very difficult. Like say that. Why do you think I always prefer to hedge my position, not put a stop loss? What happens here? Like when you're trading, there's a wick that comes and goes, takes your stop loss and goes up.
Correct.
So that is happening because there's no liquidity. When there's no liquidity, the people who have put big orders, they want they want to take as much as liquidity from everyone and then fill their position so that their order is filled. So that happens in Indian equity market a lot, which doesn't happen in the forex markets.
Okay.
So that is something, again, that is a drawback.
Understood. So Aryan, in this particular conversation, we have covered a lot of topics about market, a lot of things which people really need to understand.
Absolutely.
So it was great hearing from a person who is making continuous money through over the years. So from teammates on the field, we are here right now sitting and doing a
Life
podcast.
has come a full circle, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it was a great talk with you, Aryan.
Wonderful. It was. So if anything, if anyone has a question as well, probably they can just ping me on Instagram or something. If you can just add in.
So we'll be mentioning your
Instagram,
social media
yeah,
handles on our description.
Perfect.
So if they have anything, any doubts related to stock market, they can directly apply.
Perfect. And even Shashank is doing such a wonderful job, like the institute that you have opened. Like I think everyone like needs to come here. Like such a beautiful environment this is, like to trade. When I came here, that peace of mind is something that's very much required in trading. When you come here, you sit here, you realize, like, fine, this has cleared my mind up. Now I can sit and trade peacefully. So this institute, I feel, is doing that. And in such a wonderful way that you guys are doing. Wonderful. Vivek is here. So you guys are doing a great job. Like I feel you're encouraging people into the financial markets, which is a great thing to do. And this lovely trading floor. So yeah, well done, Shashank.
Thanks a lot,
Well
Aryan.
done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Next conversation.